So, you hear this word going around, soul. Like, you got that soul, or where did you get that soul? You know, how did you get that soul music? This comes from an energy being passed down from one person to the next. You don't just get this soul. You know, you're not just born with this. You know, people that say, I was born with this ability. You know, it was your environment. It was the people that you were around. It was the things that you listened to. It was the way that people made you feel when you were around them. And this is why when somebody says something like, I was just listening to a thing with Aretha Franklin, they called her the Queen of Soul. It's because she grew up with that. She grew up with soul music. She grew up with, you know, eating the food, listening to the funk music, listening to the oldies, growing up in those times. So that's where you get it from. It's an energy that is being passed from one person to the next. And everybody, when they attain that, when they get that soul, they do whatever they do with it, but it still comes from one source. It comes from the source of energy. That's where it comes from. When you're talking about soul music, you're talking about energy music, you're talking about a feeling, a time, you know. And this is why, in order for some of us to acquire the soul feel, you know, that feeling, that way of looking at things, that humming the songs, you almost have to hear it from another person, you know? You gotta kind of get it from someone else, but, you know, there's very few people that when they get it, they use it in their own kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Most people just imitate or try to sound like someone else, and that's why people like Aretha Franklin and other people like that, very few people, what's up, bro? Very few people have the ability to say, I got the soul and I feel that soul, you know, I feel it in me and I'm gonna do it my way, you know? There's very few of us that we don't go by the agenda, we go by how we feel. We go by what we want to say, you know, we do what we know. You know, we're truthful and honest with ourselves, you know? And that's what I resonate with. I resonate with people that they have that soul. They're willing to put themselves out on Front Street. They're willing to say it how they feel. They're willing to be about what they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? And there's only a couple artists and musicians that actually do that actually, they attain that ability from their environment and the people they grow up with, and then they do their own thing with it. You know, they don't go by the agenda or what the rest of the world is doing. They actually do what they feel. They do what is in them to do, and they don't. See, it's almost like they're willing to do whatever they do around people. They're willing to look like a rebel, but they're really not a rebel. They're not putting on for anybody. You know, they're not going by what they think the rest of the world wants to hear. They're going by what they have experienced, what they grew up with, what they know that they want to say. They say it. They don't think of, oh, well, will somebody else approve of this? You know, will somebody else like me if I do this? You know, will they love my music? See, if you're doing it for that reason, you're basing your art and your music and your life on an agenda. You're basing your life on, will everybody else approve of what it is that I'm doing? And see, that doesn't resonate with people, because people know that you're putting on the thing for people. You can't put on for people. Why do you think the musicians like Linkin Park, Aretha Franklin, Peter Gabriel, I Can Feel It in the Air Tonight, why do you think that these songs resonated with so many people? I don't want to call them popular. They were awesome songs, down to earth, awesome songs. Why do you think so many people resonated with those songs? Because he wasn't putting on a charade. He wasn't trying to be something or someone, you know. He was letting the energy of what he felt, his soul energy, move him and sing the words and make the notes and do the tunes and everything that he put into it. It happened in the moment, and he wasn't going by some agenda or some thing of approval. You see, and that there's a lot of this out here today. There's a lot of this seeking approval with social media, and you have to look a certain way. You got to sound a certain way. You got to dress a certain way. You know, you got to be a certain way, or because if you don't, you're not going to fit in, and everybody's going to look at you like, you know, the alien or outsider. See, this is the agenda that most of us are living by, and for me, I'm done with looking at life that way. I don't even look at it like that, but I can see there's pretty many other people that probably do. But all that I'm saying here, man, is you got to be willing to be yourself in no matter what situation you're in. You got to be willing to tell the truth, be honest. You got to be willing to put it out there like it is, no matter what situation you're in, no matter where you're at. Because if you do it for one person, you're going to do it for other people. If you are seeking approval or you're going by what everybody else thinks, if you do it for one person, you're going to do it for another and another. And all it does is put pressure on us. That's all it does. It just puts pressure on you and I as people. And then we're not even being real with ourselves. You know, we're not even resonating our own soul energy. You know, we're not even putting out that kind of energy that's us, because we're so worried about what everybody else is going to think. And I'm telling you, you got to be willing to let all that stuff go. If you're not willing to let it go, then you're going to keep living that kind of way, and that's no way to live. I know it's no way to live. I'm telling you, you got to get over what other people think of you. If you're still going by what the world thinks of you, you're never going to get over this stuff. Hello. Yeah, you're never going to stop thinking, oh, will they approve? Will they like me? Will I fit in here? That's no way to live. It's no way to live. I'm telling you, I know, because I lived that way for so long. And it's bondage. You know, you're in bondage to yourself because you're worried about what the rest of the world is going to think. Free yourself from that. You know, start practicing on thinking different and speaking different for yourself, and you will live that way. So anyway, I'm gonna go in here and get this cereal. I'm heading back home. Yeah, take care of yourself and do what you gotta do and keep coping. That's all you can do here. There's nothing else we can do. Find something, find a craft, find something to keep you busy, something you look forward to. That's all I can say for people. But anyway, I'll talk with y'all.